dad bods.
We're live. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to our little breakdown Mandalorian after show of Chapter 14, which is titled The Tragedy. We've got the three Osmigos, as only one likes to call us. We've got Red Leader 1. How's it going, Malcolm?
How you going?
And we've got Usual Mike from Usual Mike Television. How's it going, Mike?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the three amigos. What are we? The three Osmigos.
Three Osmigos.
Osmigos.
I've already got a comment saying, when's the cutoff for pre-order? I think well, that was one joke I sort of put out there straight after this episode is like, I'm cancelling my pre-order. I don't want it anymore.
Yes. The tragedy was the decimation of the ship. That's like, boy, yeah, it's hard to come back from that one.
That was a true tragedy. Yeah, wow, what an episode. Like that just, last week was fantastic with Ahsoka. It just completely blew my mind. And, they just keep turning up the heat every single week, it seems. Completely different type of episode. We got the mention of Tython last week, and I thought we might see that by season's end. But, went straight there next episode, straight to Tython. They just treated it like it was nothing. It was just like, it's a Jedi planet. It looks kind of like Outback Australia.
Yeah, it did actually, didn't it?
Yeah.
Rocks and shrubs and just rocky ground, and
just
you could almost go for take an hour's drive in any direction in Australia, and you could find that same sort of locale.
Hoppy's Creations, that's no filler episode. That's very true. This was not a filler episode. This was a damn fine episode. Only short, but like a movie. It was like a mini film.
It's pulling things that we've seen before all together. It's bringing things in that it's not constantly new stuff. They're pulling their resources in for getting all the flavors and making a nice slice of cake or something.
Mando pie.
You all know what kind of analogy I'm trying to make here. So
we got the first cameo for the mortar trooper.
Yes.
We've been waiting for him, haven't we? Hasbro's going, ooh, break out the yellow paint, boys. Walmart wants another exclusive. It's paint in yellow.
Don't say that word, exclusive.
It's a dirty word. It is. It really is. Although our targets still have plenty of those flame troopers, so that's all right. Yeah,
I'm tempted to pick up a few more of those troopers and just cut the belts and stuff off them and just have them as without the flamethrower gear on them.
That'd be cool. A little unit of troopers. That'd be cool. So we'll start off with you, Malcolm. What do you think of the episode? You sent me a message pretty well straight away, screaming no. But
yeah, well, the no part was the destruction of the Razor Crest. I was just out of the blue, bang, gone, and I just yelled out the F word. I was like, no. And my lad comes running in, going, "What's going on? I got that blow up the Razor Crest." So it's funny, if you're on Twitter, a lot of people are on there saying about the backers, everyone who's backed the Razor Crest at the moment, how they're feeling at the moment. But
yeah,
now.
It's funny because we were talking about it like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Like, they probably could have added some stretch goals and put it into December. But after this one, the people would have jumped off board. I think Hasbro got all their numbers in when they wanted to.
That's right.
I reckon it's make it more wanted more now, the Razor Crest.
Yeah. Hello there, Fallen Jedi. We've got Hasbro Star Wars in the chat, Hoppy's Creations, Traveller 6888. And we have here all the Boba Fett haters and naysayers will have to find something new to complain about after that episode. Yes. Yes, he was so good. He was just complete badass. Like, they needed to show Boba Fett doing shit like that. Like, that was insane.
Didn't he remind you of Jake the Muss? Is it Jake the Muss from Once and Warriors?
I still haven't seen that. I need to watch that movie.
Oh, you got to watch it. I
imagine he does some fighting in it though. Like,
yeah, you can just imagine what a Clone Wars, Clone Trooper bar would look like. With all the clone troopers in there. Terps. But yeah, that bit reminded me of Jake the Muss.
Yeah,
Is
right.
it Jake the Musk?
I'm not sure. I'm going to have to track that movie down and watch it though.
Yeah,
I was not expecting Boba Fett until next season.
Yeah.
Like, it just wasn't even on the cards in my mind. What about yourself, Mike? What do you think?
That when that ship turns up, and I'm like, oh, I know what happens now.
Just that sound of the Slave One, like
coming into that planet there, he gets out his little rangefinder and has a look. Oh, someone's coming off. Someone's walking off. And I'm like, the outfit he put on, he still had the robe down the bottom and the Tusken Raider gaffy sticks. Even that action figure would look amazing. Even though
it would, wouldn't it?
I know what they'd call him though. What, Boba Fett?
Pilgrim, Desert Pilgrim or something.
Yeah, that sounds all right. But yeah,
Hasbro, get on it. Sort it out, Hasbro.
The fighting in it was unbelievable. Just killing everywhere. Just troopers falling. The helmets, when they smash the helmet, that's always because we saw it in the very first season of the Mando where a helmet got smashed and it's like,
yeah, the armorer did it. Yeah.
And to see it in this is like, that's incredible.
Just physical brutality, just completely wiping out stormtroopers. These mindless automatons just getting wiped out.
As
let alone by a boulder.
The stormtrooper squad commander, when he told his trooper to keep moving forward, and he gets shot.
There are some great moments in this episode, but I don't know. It's like I was sort of drawn to. I've watched it twice already. I was sort of drawn to the little mentions. Like, what I love, it's a 32-minute episode. You take out the credits, you're probably looking at about 28 minutes, and it's just. There's some throwaway lines in there which starts painting the universe to be even bigger, and it comes from Boba Fett himself, where he says, where we find out that Jango Fett was also a foundling, and he fought in the Mandalorian Civil War, which, tell me more, please. What? Tell me. I just want to know everything. We're getting Mandalorian Civil Wars and Jango Fett fighting in them as a foundling, like, they could totally bring in the whole Justa Mareel story from the expanded universe, where Jango was basically adopted as a Mandalorian, and they're setting that up so they can sort of make that stuff canon, and that's crazy cool.
This was written on his little armor where that screen popped up on his sleeve. Is that right? And it's written in Arabic.
Yeah, on his chin code.
Someone will screenshot that and translate every single thing on there, most likely.
Oh, give it like 20 minutes.
and even where the Jedi, where he's sitting on the ball, on the baby, and the Arabic is on there as well. Someone's going to translate that, and we'll find out more about that too.
I started on my second watch through when Cara Dune's looking at the list of prisoners. I started pausing that and translating a couple of them, but I didn't write them down, but because I thought, I could be here all night translating these aliens. But
wasn't she in that episode with the prison ship? So she should know this guy, Mayfield.
No, she wasn't.
It was only Mando and all those guys.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking she should know, and flicking through the screen and had Mayfield.
Yeah,
I thought she was in that episode. Yeah, that's him. And he said he got scanned for a figure, so look forward to him again. He'll be in the next episode.
Everyone gets scanned for a figure, though, I think.
Just in case.
Jeff Garland from the Goldbergs, he had a cameo as another Mithril alien in The Rise of Skywalker, and he got scanned for an action figure. And he's like, blink and you miss a background guy.
Mad Max the Warrior.
Talking about the Razor Crest, it's a Tong Wars. Hey, Richard, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. It's an iconic ship already. I'm sure he'll end up with an upgraded replacement at some point. That's what I was saying to mate Lockie, who was on with me last week. Basically saying that, like, Razor Crests, it's been mentioned a couple of times that they're like old surplus war vehicles. It's like buying an old Jeep. like an old army jeep and doing it up. Like it's one of those sort of things. So I think he'll get another one.
I was thinking more like the Enterprise in Star Trek, so it's Enterprise A, B, C, D.
Could be, yeah. Who knows? Hey, Mark, Magnificent Stephanie says, I've said it all along. Yeah, it's going to be close, isn't it? It's going to be, Magnificent Seven Samurai, all that good stuff coming together. Don't need to see the training montage again. We've done that a few times from Seven Samurai, but that's okay. Razor Crest 1701A.
So, confirmed Dark Troopers.
Yeah.
How cool were they? They looked fantastic.
They're all cyborgs, they're not people.
Yeah. They were cyborgs in the EU as well. They were. And I think the last one, maybe Dark Trooper Phase 3, was had the ability to be piloted.
Ah,
but I immediately thought of John Favreau when I saw them flying out of the ship, landing. I immediately thought of John Favreau and Iron Man.
Yeah.
He would have loved that. But yeah, this is Rodriguez's episode. This was a really cool episode from him. It was short, but definitely sweet. But yeah, like I said, it didn't feel short.
No, there's a lot in it. It's good fighting, good scenery. It was much different to the last episode where it was all dark and gritty and Japanese. This is like Aussie Outback with the rock.
I feel like I need to take some figures out for a drive tomorrow.
Yeah. You could do figure photography in a perfect setting here in this country.
Yeah.
So
I did that last year. I took on one of my hikes up in the hills here. I took some stormtroopers up, and actually it's the same. I can find it on me and show you. I actually did some photography like that with some of my stormtroopers with that type of background and that. So
this Fallen Jedi saying the Seeing Stone was different than I imagined. Welcome Grogu 2.0. I think the message he sent out there on the Seeing Stone is going to come back in a big, big way. I'm not sure how. Not sure when, but it's gonna happen.
Connected to all the Jedi out there in the same way we use the internet. Is that what you're saying? That little.
You just sent out a Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah.
Sent out it was like a Jedi Force ping.
Oh, there you go.
Hey.
Yeah.
Those rocks.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I was thinking the Seeing Stone, when it was spoken about in the last episode, my immediate thought was the ledge from The Last Jedi from Arc 2.
Yeah,
that
I thought the same as well.
The Luke gave Rey that lesson on. That was my thought. It was going to be something like that.
More of a plinth in a way, not exactly a round thing. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and then when I saw the dome, and they've made a point in the last couple of episodes for Grogu. I'm going to start calling him Grogu. I'm going to stop trying to call him Baby Yoda. I'm going to call him Grogu. So they've made a thing to he's playing with the gear stick ball. So when I saw the big stone dome thing, I thought he was going to force lift that out of the ground and something was going to happen. And yeah, but it didn't. It was still cool. But boy, am I glad I got that vintage collection Slave 1 though.
Yeah.
I'll change it now.
I might have to get myself that Black Series Boba Fett helmet because I could probably cosplay as chunky Boba Fett. he put on a little condition in the desert there for a few years.
Yeah. What do you eat in the desert? Bantha.
Yeah. Bantha blue milk.
Bantha diet.
I wonder if he got stuck into that crate dragon too. He waited for all the sand people to bugger off for a night and he went and got some crate meat. Luke and the New Republic turn up at the end. Boba won't be happy. No, he won't. I've been saying for a long time that Boba's still going to have a pretty vengeful vendetta against Jedi. Mace Windu killed his father. Luke almost just took him out there. Well, no, Luke didn't really. Luke cut his rope in half when he tried tying him up, and then Han crapped out his jetpack. So,
well, Boba didn't seem happy about the stormtroopers, and I thought he was on their side once. He saw the stormtroopers and wanted to wipe them out. So
he's a bounty hunter. His allegiance with whoever pays the most money.
I love how he said what Jango Fett said. You know, I'm a lonely
Simple
guy,
man.
simple man, find his way through the galaxy. And that was good.
Yeah, that was a great line. That was really cool. Almost threw my light off the table. I love that Boba Fett, like, despite being sort of a gunslinger, sort of, you know, pretty hard ass sort of dude, he still has an honor code. And to get his armor back, he made the deal with Mando to help protect the child. I think it was great to see that Boba Fett has an honor code among, you know, comrades. And I was quite happy to see Boba Fett as an ally, really.
Yeah.
The second I saw that Slave One, I didn't really want. I was like, oh no, he's going to come and screw something up here. And nope, he helped. That was good. The Sing Stone was great. They did well not to mimic the Soul Stone scene. That's a tongue twister from Endgame.
Do you want a fun fact? I've never seen Endgame.
Have you watched Infinity War?
Yes, that's the only one I've seen. I didn't see anything before it, and I haven't seen nothing after it. I had no concept of what's going on. I'm like, so that's probably why you know that. Oh, he doesn't collect Marvel figures because I've never watched any.
Yeah, I get it. I'd say go and get started, but you know, that's
10 years.
Each to their own. It's 20 movies.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure you're a busy man. It's look, if you can avoid collecting Marvel Legends, you're doing yourself a favor. Because that was a deep pit I fell into for a few years. Biker Scout 74, I've been waiting for 37 years for the return of Boba Fett, and unlike Luke and Han, this did not disappoint. It made me feel like 9 years old again. Best episode yet. Yep. I still can't. I can't rank these. It's like the movies. I can't rank them. I can't rank Mandalorian episodes. I can't rank Mando episodes. It's just too difficult.
They're all good in their own way. They've got so many wonderful points in each episode we see. It's like, this is great. This is great. Yeah. And
thematically, they're different. The vibes are different. The stories are different. The settings are all different. You just can't pick them apart. After watching that, I felt 28,329 Hasbro's that the vintage collection collectors cry out, and then we're suddenly silenced. That's pretty much what Malcolm said on Twitter.
All we're left with is a ball gear stick and a Beskar spear. That's it. Which is like a phallus and a ball.
and a big ass pit in the ground.
All in the ground. Wow.
The millisecond the Razor blew up, I thought the Haslo project. I don't think you're the only one.
There's got to be another one coming. Because the Mon Calamari fixed his last one. They can't fix this. They can't fix... They'll have to get a brand new one.
I said those two mechanics from Navarro, they could probably fix it in an afternoon because they managed to... They had half an hour to fix that wreck last time, and it came out looking sparkling brand new. So, Mike, here's one for you. Marvel up there with Star Wars. The writing is amazing. It's the connective tissue that brings all the films together into one universe. It's
all together.
Richard says, I actually disagree with the Boba portrayal a little. He was too much of a good guy for me, considering his role in the OT. A little bit too much fan service for a change from this series. Oh, that's...
Well, he did start off on the wrong side of the Mando. You've been pointing a gun at him, so you've kind of got that conflict there. And then it evolved where it's like, oh, we're going to help each other out because there's a threat, and that's the stormtroopers.
Yeah, I guess Boba Fett's outlook over the last few years, him being like stranded in the desert, maybe it changed him a little bit. Not to say that, he's a good-hearted, like he's still like a badass warrior that we never really got to see in the OT, but...
All he wanted was his armor. That's all he wanted.
Mm.
He didn't want the child. He didn't want the Beskar armor off the Mando. He just wanted his armor. That was it. That's straightforward.
He wants to get back to work.
Yeah.
Can't do his work without his armor.
I still can't get over the voice, hearing that voice again, though.
Yeah, they made it he just made it a little bit more gruff than Django.
Yeah,
it sort of matched up with his voice from when they overdubbed it anyway, with Tim Morrison's voice in Empire and Jedi.
It's no good to be dead. Yeah.
Except that horrible. I wish they'd get rid of that scream out of Return of the Jedi where he flies into the barge. Yeah. That's a horrible scream. Like
that they call it, the Wilhelm scream.
I don't know if that was the Wilhelm scream.
They just cycle it and cycle it and cycle it.
Oh, maybe. I haven't paid that much attention to it. There's a lot of screams that they should remove. I'm glad they removed the Luke one where he falls down on Bespin. There was a really horrible scream before that, but
how's the new troop transports, the Imperial transports?
Yeah, I was thinking about them. They look like the
First Order ones, didn't they? At first,
yeah, they're like a cool precursor to the First Order landers. They were cool. Might be worth ordering the Slave 1 for those that don't have it. Get it, do it. I recommend it. I'm sure Malcolm recommends it. That's a great ship. Get on board. I'm sure you've done a review. I know I did a review. I reckon my review caused about 4 or 5 people to go out and buy it as well.
I haven't reviewed this one yet, so
if Hasbro want to flick me a few bucks for selling like 5 or 6 Slave 1s for them, please.
I'll tell you what I did do. I finally ordered Poe Dameron's X-Wing.
Yeah, that's a good ship too.
Hey, Hasbro, we're blowing up the racing. Make it the HasLab. That's to make
at least it's.
I burn out Paul's pitch with a hole in the ground.
I was saying earlier in the week I got my new 6-inch Mando Din Djarin version, and I said, it is. It's fantastic. They did a great job. He looks really good. I said it's only. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I pretty much said that in my review. Like, whenever you see Hasbro photography, just look past it, ignore it, because their photographers are horrible.
It looks like this, but it's not that.
Yeah. But yeah, I was saying, like, in about 3 months, there's going to be another Din Djarin pack where he's going to come with a spear and maybe a little ball for him to hold.
The spear comes straight out of the Captain Phasma Quicksilver. Reuse the spear from that one.
Does it make sense that he was stranded but has the Slave 1?
Yeah.
I don't know whether he was stranded, but yeah, when you think he says he got it from Cobb Vanth, he could have just taken on Cobb Vanth himself. Like, Cobb Vanth having the armor didn't necessarily make him better than Boba Fett. Like, Boba Fett could have walked in and killed him before he blinked, really. I love Cobb Vanth. I think he was fantastic. But in a fight against an unarmed Boba Fett, there's no chance.
Yeah, that is interesting. The ship was still good. He could... We just
maybe
didn't know
Boba Fett. Maybe Boba Fett only just found out that he had the armor. That's when, we see him at the end of that episode. So
yeah, maybe. Boba and Cobb Vanth 2-pack with interchangeable armor, but then you need to buy 2 packs so you can have them each without and with the armor. You're doing Hasbro's marketing for them, Owen. Boba Fett was hired by Vader as a bounty hunter. He wasn't Imperial. It was just business. Yeah, that's pretty much the go. When I saw Slave 1 enter the screen, I almost had to change my pants. I changed them 4 times that whole episode. My wife's got some washing to do tomorrow.
A little bit of wee came out.
Like he says, gentlemen, I'm broke. I bought Boba's helmet and my HasLab crest is gone. I have to cut the front of my First Order lander and remove the rear end.
Oh, Hoppies. He does some good work, doesn't he?
Yeah. Cad Bane is much more of a bad guy than Boba. I still want to see that Boba Fett Cad Bane shootout that was meant to happen in the Clone Wars. It needs to happen. Like, there's like basic animatics of it happening, and that's, you know, where Cad Bane dies. But I want to see Cad Bane last a lot longer. So we'll see. Boba is better than Cobb. Did you see the way he was swinging the gaffy stick? He was just messing dudes up. Like, he was just completely messing them up. Did you notice that Mando had a new thigh guard on his armor?
Yeah, shot from there. Just pivoted his knee and just bang, I'll shoot from the knee. It's like...
No, like Mandalorian's armor. Like, I'll hold the figure up. That one, that plate is now being exchanged with a plate off of Zero the droid's armor. Like plating.
I thought he was about Boba with the rockets on his knee.
No, so for some reason, Mando has lost this piece of armor. I don't know when that happened, but he has switched it out for a piece of Zero's armor, like armor plating.
There's another action figure right there.
Yep, with a Beskar spear. I'm trying to make like all the different variations of Mando, like out of Mando action figures. So they just every time he changes his underpants, I have to get a new Mando figure. Where are we? How long do you reckon it took Boba to escape the Sarlacc pit? I like if they go with the old version from Dark Empire, where Han sort of says, you know, Boba Fett, you're alive. And he says, yeah, the Sarlacc pit found me somewhat indigestible. Like, spat him back out. That would be cool.
We'd need like a flashback scene, but we have to have Harrison Ford say that. Or someone who looks like him.
Yeah. Alden Ehrenreich, even though nobody likes him. I do. I don't know. Do you think maybe the Sarlacc pit had just eaten so many clones throughout the Clone Wars, he just completely lost his taste for Jango Fett clones? Like maybe when the Empire decommissioned the clone troopers, they just killed them all and dumped their corpses in the Sarlacc pit and said, "Here, eat up, buddy." And now he's just eaten so many clones. He's just like, no, I just can't stomach that anymore.
I'll spit this one out after the katana explodes.
Maybe the Beskar armor and Boba Fett had some effect.
There was a story during the week about a dude that in Australia here, a tradie, he ate a KFC Zinger box every day for 100 days. And I don't know, I kind of feel like I'd be sick of it after 100 days. You'd start spitting them back up. Owen's asking, did Mando lose his jetpack? I think he did. I think it was left there. He took it off and he didn't have it when he went back to Navarro. So unless he's left it on board the Slave One.
I think they did that intentionally too. So when the Dark Troopers were taken off, he didn't have his jetpack on to go, I'm going to get him. So they thought, we'll make it so he's trapped. He's nothing he can do. They did it almost intentional.
My stream cut out when the Slave One entered the scene. I yelled out at a massive Wilhelm scream.
No.
I assume Slave One was just parked at Jabba's palace all this time. That's what I sort of thought when we saw Boba Fett in episode 1 of this season. Just thought, he's still got Slave One just parked there on the loading dock. I wanted it to be
buried under a mound of sand. Remember I said that in one of your live streams? I wanted it to be in the very last episode. Mando's scratching around on the ground and moves all the sand aside, and here's the Slave One buried under the sand. But no, it's flying around. It's a good neck. It's going great gun.
Boba Fett's Slave One, is that Jango Fett's Slave One? Is it, or is it different?
I can never remember this. I've thought about it time and time again because I thought when Boba and Aurra Singh took off with it in the Clone Wars, because Hondo Ohnaka had it for a little while. And it's kind of hard to remember because like the Clone Wars at that point was sort of all over the place. And when Boba and Aurra Singh took off with it and Ahsoka, like she sliced into her and then it crashed. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to have to look into that a little bit more. I always just thought it was the same one.
Rewatch of the Clone Wars for you now. Back to season 1.
Tell my wife, hey, sweetheart, we're watching 7 seasons of the Clone Wars again. I need to know if the Slave One's the same one as Django's. Bike Scout 74 says, how cool would it be if they returned to a seemingly abandoned Jabba's palace in season 3? I like that a lot. I had a thought years ago that Luke would go in later and clean it up and turn it into like his Jedi temple. Like just completely just, take the high pressure washer in there, spray down some walls, dig all the sand out, get rid of all the stinking aliens that are in there and turn it into a Jedi temple.
But I would like to go back into there, see what it's like now.
I mean, yeah, I'll be very interested to see what's going on in there.
And then the bones of the Rancor down in the dungeon there.
The clones gave the Sarlacc acid reflux.
That's why he's got no hair.
Clone meat sweats. Have to assume it's the same ship. Do I remember Boba saying its armor was originally Jango's? Yeah, that's what he said. I always assumed that the armor was different, but yeah, obviously he repainted it somewhere along the line. But yeah, I think I always just assumed that his armor was different. Like when you think about it now, like
chest plate is silver, so he's painted it green, and now the green is getting scratched off over time to go back to almost silver again. Yeah,
true. That is true. That is the look of the Beskar, I suppose, isn't it? So you'd have to assume that at some point on Geonosis, like Boba had to go pick up the helmet. I mean, in Attack of the Clones, you see the head, you see the shadow of the head fly out the helmet after Mace Windu chops it off, but he would have had to go pick off the armor off of Jango's dead body.
Yeah.
But he took like the chest plate, a couple of shoulder plates, and he's just like, I can't take any more. I don't want the leg armor. Daniel Logan just couldn't handle it. I think I read there's only one Slave One, or at least that model of ship. So I remember the old like fact books and stuff like that. They always talked about the Slave One being like they called it like a fire spray class ship.
Fire spray.
Yeah. So it was almost like originally it may have had like fire hoses on it or something, which I think was a missed opportunity in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin's bringing General Grievous's cruiser into Coruscant, and the clones have got their own like fire, like water hose ships trying to cool it down as it lands. I think it would have been cool to have some like state of the art looking Slave One ships sort of coming in and putting those fires out. It's just a little missed opportunity.
That'd be cool, actually. I would like.
Yeah.
That.
Like just so you sort of know that, like, Boba Fett and Jango Fett have like they've like stolen one of these ships and modded it up to be a fierce bounty hunter ship, but they were like they were like space fire engines.
Fire spray.
Fire trucks, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting Django lore news too, with him being a foundling and fighting in some other Mando wars. Yeah, we were just saying that before, the Mandalorian Civil War. So I was saying I need to...
place? It's going back.
I mean, that's to be pre-Attack of the Clones, I think. I sort of...
Before
maybe... yeah, maybe, because, Django was a foundling. You'd assume he was young. Been a young fighter in like Mandalorian Civil Wars, and potentially that was what caused the change of Mandalorian government when Duchess Satine came in and turned Mandalore into a pacifist state. So it would have been Civil War. The pacifists would have won. Death Watch was the sort of splinter that took off. Django left to do his own thing. That's the picture I'm painting in my head at the moment.
That's well painted.
Do you find out more of that in Rebels?
No, not really. No, that was all sort of more so involving like the Imperial Purge and all that, which is later.
So what's the planet? Is it Clone Wars or Rebels? The one that's all broken up? Concord?
Concord Dawn. Yeah, that was one of the moons of Mandalore.
Right.
that Mandalorian used as like a prisoner planet, like a prison planet.
Yeah.
Which, like, what we should do here on Earth is send all our prisoners off to the moon. And it's just what I think. It's like I know quite a large orange man that could go spend a few months there.
Imagine the fights on the moon. They'd be all like,
the helmet must be. Owen's saying here, yeah, the helmet must be different as it blew up on the ship trying to kill Mace Windu. The body, though, I think is the same. I think you're right there, Owen. Yeah, because I remember the Boba Fett action figure from the Clone Wars. He came with Jango Fett's helmet, and it broke in half, and you had half of it had like a bomb in there because he'd planted that bomb to try and take out Mace. Cool, you met Tennant and Rose, a man of culture Frosty. Oh, I'm completely uncultured because I have no idea who they are. I apologise.
Oh, in his avatar there.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, Doctor Who. Okay,
Of course, there's
I
Billy.
see it now. That's David Tennant. David Tennant.
Yeah.
And Billy Piper.
Billy Piper.
I do know these things.
Yeah.
I'm not a complete idiot. I know pop culture.
Cool. Would have been one of the supernovas.
Arc Lieutenant Jesse, what a great name you have there. That episode was awesome. Just got back from watching it. Yes, it was. So I did take some notes on my second viewing, so I'm just going to revert to them for a little bit. It's Fennec Shand. That was a cool comeback. Yes, I like that she's sort of part cyborg. I think we saw that coming at some point or another with her sort of...
She was wearing the same kind of outfit from the Attack of the Clones. You know, Jango Fett's offsider at the start.
Oh, yeah, Zam Wessel, yeah. Very similar.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's cool. I didn't pick up on that, actually. That's a good point. But I really like
Malcolm got it first go. Well done.
I have to watch it again.
I didn't notice it.
I noticed. I've watched the episode twice, but I picked it up in the first one.
Good stuff.
Kind of reminded me of that scene in Attack of the Clones.
I liked Fennec Shand a lot. She was great in the Gunslinger from season 1, and it was kind of a bit of a bummer that idiot Toro killed her. But I'm glad she came back because she's kind of a good fighter. She could be a good ally going into this, battle against Moff Gideon to try and get the child back. So
and everyone's thoughts about season 1 when who it was walking up to her with the noise of the boots and that. So
yeah, and it was.
Yeah, it was Boba Fett all along. Another thing I've noticed, it may not be right, but the black cloak that Boba Fett's wearing when we see him, I like the idea that could be Luke Skywalker's cloak from Return of the Jedi that he rocks up to Jabba's palace in, because it got thrown off as he fell into the Rancor pit. And if Boba Fett somehow made his way back to Jabba's palace to go get the Slave One, he's probably had to find, something that will brave the weather of Tatooine and, something that can cover him during sandstorms.
Because everyone in the palace would have been on the barge that blew up. So
just about, yeah. Yeah, so there wouldn't be many clothing sitting around. So if he was to find Luke's, black robe that he walked in on with...
Yeah. Because the only thing left might have been some droids, and they're not going to need clothing, so that's a good call. It could be Luke's.
And Jabba's pillows and blankets that he had on his throne would smell terrible. They would be disgusting. So I don't know. That's just kind of my thought.
No.
I was looking at the close-ups of Boba Fett in this episode, and just sort of looking at the black fabric, and it just made me think of Luke's Luke walking with the hood up. even though the recent Black Series figure he comes with is brown, and the Hot Toys figure is brown, so I could be completely way off, but
it just got a little dirty. That's all.
Yeah, I started taking notes. I got about a third through the episode, and I just got distracted and kept watching it. Yeah, it was just so cool. Like, I don't know, I was just Boba Fett, just some of the fighting he did then, it was just.
Do you watch the episodes with the subtitles on? Because I do.
I do usually do the second time around. That's what I have been doing, but I didn't this time. I just threw it straight on.
I do, and when Boba Fett spoke for the first time, it doesn't have his name. All it had on the screen was man.
Okay.
And the man speaks, and then later on it says Boba Fett. Later on when he speaks, but first time he speaks, it just says man, and I was like, "Hello, who's this fella?" Yeah, they didn't give it away.
I knew
early.
Yeah, I knew exactly what it was. As soon as that Slave One flew over, I was just like, "Wow, here we go."
I know it's too late, but damn, we need Captain Rex.
He would look so different to Boba Fett, though. Like, he'd be a lot older, because Boba Fett didn't have the accelerated growth, whereas the clones did. So I don't know if Rex would technically he'd be quite old now, I think. Yeah. So I don't really see it happening now. I don't know why. I wish it would, but I don't really see it happening. It just seems to be getting a little bit of a distant dream, perhaps.
But on the upside, his action figures coming out real soon in the next wave.
Yeah.
3.75-inch vintage.
I need I just want a Boba Fett from Mandalorian now. We're gonna have to wait till like this time next year. But
do you reckon they'll kill Boba Fett off?
I don't think they will now.
Yeah.
They've silenced the fans that have been wanting him back for 37 years, I think that person said earlier.
He falls into another Sarlacc pit.
Oh, God.
Just gets beaten by another blind man. So Arc Lieutenant Jesse here as well saying, look, so Boba Fett was trying to track down his armor for 5 years, it looks like, and he had his ship. Was he just relentlessly looking for 5 years? Seems kind of odd, but hey, it's Boba.
I noticed his fighting style. Boba Fett's fighting style was a lot like Chirrut Imwe's from Rogue One. That very, like, obviously got sticks as well. That same influence. I was like, that's interesting. They'll get trained by the same bloke.
So how did Boba Fett lose his armor in the first place for him to go searching for it again?
Yeah. Well, Cobb Vanth said that he bought it off some Jawas. So whether he got out of the Sarlacc pit and maybe wasn't conscious, and the Jawas just left him naked in the sand. And there's no that'd be really, really horrible. I think we wake up naked in the Tatooine sand,
or in his fat undies.
If you're looking for one of those beach showers. Evening, gentlemen. I've got to get cracking. This episode needs another rewatch before bed. Indeed. My wife's out at her annual Christmas party, so I'm going to wait for her to get home and watch it again before we go to bed. So hopefully she's not too late. I may just get a sneaky little nap in beforehand.
Power nap.
Power nap. I was. I feel a lot of there's a lot of emotions that came out of this episode for me. One was sadness that I thought Baby Yoda had died there for a minute when he collapsed on the stone. But there was sadness when the Dark Troopers picked him up and took him away. There was anger at Moff Gideon for being such an asshat. There was sorrow for the Mandalorian. He just got his car blown up and lost his child that he just discovered his name and, seems to have found a newfound connection with Grogu. That just made that even more heartbreaking at the same. Oh, we're going back to sand. It's rough and coarse and it gets everywhere. The Crate Dragon ate the Sarlacc right. Was that the Sarlacc? Maybe how he got away. I don't know. I felt like the Crate Dragon's sort of lair there. They sort of mentioned that was an old Sarlacc pit. Like a Sarlacc was living in that cave before the Crate Dragon came and ate the Sarlacc. So it could be the same one. Like, I'm not sure how sentient Sarlaccs are and whether they can like move, because they talk about the of Carcoon. Like that seemed to be maybe it was an existing hole there.
So that Sarlacc pit from episode 1 from season 2. Do you think that's the one from Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, was the Sarlacc pit from Jedi able to move and go live in another cave there before the Crate Dragon came along and ate it?
Yeah, that's interesting, because I always thought that Sarlacc pits are like coral. They're going to stay in the one spot all the time and just grow.
Yeah.
That was my always.
Because there are like, if you look on Google, you can do a Google image search for like Sarlacc pit cutaway. And that thing goes quite deep. Like it's got roots that sort of grow out and try and...
See, that hole was made by the Crate Dragon to go in there to eat the Sarlacc pit, which could have been on the other side of the range with the sand and that.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
And that's why Boba Fett was heading to that location, thinking that he was going to retrieve his armor from the...
Ah. Yeah, that could... Yeah, that's starting to paint a picture now. I'm sure we'll get like a comic series about it or something.
Or a flashback.
I don't know. I find it more fun to speculate than have everything answered for us. It is fun to sort of come up with these sort of theories and, you know, discuss them like we are. I find that a lot more fun.
Hey, this is not Mandalorian related, but I was going through my old YouTube channel and just clearing out some of my old Star Wars. I came across a video I did back in 2016 called Is Rey a Palpatine? And I watched it and it's talking about Rey being a Palpatine. I couldn't believe it. I'm not sitting there watching it going, whoa.
What were you saying?
I was saying that at first I was saying that I believe that she was a Skywalker, but it wouldn't surprise me if Disney turned around and tricked us in, and then she's actually turns to be a Palpatine. And so...
Yeah, well, they didn't really trick us. They JJ just decided to write it a different way.
I said it wouldn't surprise me if they did a switcheroo. So
they kind of did, didn't they? Really.
So
it's easy to do a switcheroo when you didn't have a plan in the first place.
Yeah. And
but Mandalorian, that's all planned.
Yeah. And another thing from last episode I saw a lot of talk about is Gideon working for Admiral Thrawn. I don't think that's probably the case now. I believe they're two separate groups now. And
yeah, I do too.
My question is like he's flying around in an Imperial light cruiser, which isn't really a top of the line ship. And if the New Republic would come along, he's not in something that he could easily defend himself.
It's not a Star Destroyer. It's not that big.
Like it's only a light cruiser. So,
and you look at the size of this Starhawk, which the New Republic put together that we saw in Squadrons, and that was a whopping ship. Like that was far bigger than any Star Destroyer.
Do you reckon they're heading back to? What planet do you think they're heading back to?
Oh, I don't know. Exegol?
Mandalore?
I don't know. I think there's maybe Camino.
Yeah,
if they're still attempting to clone. If they're still attempting to clone this guy, and Pershing and those other two Imperial doctors that they shot up in episode 4 of this season, they were both wearing they both had the Camino patch on their shoulder. So
I think next week you'll find out. You'll be right. You'll be right next week.
Oh,
yeah, they mentioned that doctor. Camino.
I reckon we're going to see Bo-Katan again, because obviously she's searching for Gideon, and now the Mando's after the Grogu. I've got to get used to that name.
Grogu. Grogu Josh.
I saw someone Grogu Skywalker.
Grogu Skywalker. Baby Grogu. So will we see Grogu go full on beast mode and beat up a few more Stormies, or maybe even Moff Gideon? I have a feeling he's going to save Din before season's end. I think we'll see the same thing. I think they'll both just save each other and, go into the end of the season. It's important. Star Wars is important to end with hope. Star Wars rarely leaves on a seriously downer. There's always just a little glimmer of hope there. And I think they will save each other. Like, Din will be saving the child, but he will also save him in the process. I think there'll be a bit of back and forth. And, I think that'll just strengthen their bond.
Yeah, I don't think the cliffhanger at the end of the season will be bad. It'll be interesting. It'll be something to bring back to season 3.
It'll be interesting to see what's next. Whether the search for a Jedi continues. I feel like they're going to get out of. I feel like they're going to get out of this. At some point, whether or not Gideon gets defeated somehow. I don't know. I couldn't have guessed anything that happened in this episode, and I was wrong on all accounts.
I reckon the last episode, the last minute or so, a Jedi, some famous Jedi will rock up.
We'll see the back of them. We're thinking Luke.
We're thinking Luke, yeah.
And for that's a bit sad, I know, and that Kylo Ren kills all the Jedi, most of them later on.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. In the comic, he didn't actually kill them. He did a bit of crap that led to their death, but he didn't physically kill them himself.
He didn't,
which is why he was completely misunderstood in that moment. Yeah, check out the Kylo Ren comic series. It's a 6-issue run, 5 issues, 5 or 6.
Very well read, you are, Jesse.
That was a good read. Clayton says Boba Fett was awesome in this episode. I freaked out seeing the Slave One again. Also, Mango being Django the Mango Fett being a foundling and having had fought in the Mandalorian Civil War. That's crazy news.
To be fair, the J and the M are very close to each other on the keyboard.
They are. Django Mango.
We know what you meant.
Mango Fett.
It's all good.
It would be interesting if it was Cal Kestis. It would be interesting, but I don't think it will be. I think they still want to tell Cal Kestis' story through video games. I think that will go off and delve into its own corner of the universe going forward. I don't think that will just nicely tie into everything else. At least I hope not. I'd like to see the universe feel a little bit bigger than having him show up. As much as I'd love to see Cal Kestis come to live action because he's based off of the actor, I think he'd look fantastic. But I just don't see that happening. I don't really think a Jedi will show up, Luke, while making sense. He's kind of endgame, as you would definitely take Grogu at Disney. Will not split up Mando and Grogu for sure. I think it's going to be more about the relationship, like the father-son dynamic going forward, and maybe embracing Grogu's talents as a Force user, as opposed to trying to find a Jedi to teach him and leave him. They'll stick together, but I think it'll just be like raising a son with good morals, good ethics and all that sort of stuff, and him just coming into his own as a little kid who's, he's going to outlive Mando at some point. So it's, where the story goes from there, who knows? But I feel like this is going to be like when Mandalorian series comes to a close, I feel like it's going to be a sort of walk into the sunset moment for both of them.
Yeah, kind of like a Rey and BB-8 at the end. Skywalker.
Yeah.
Skywalker. Off into the distance. I'm still got that thing about Cal Kestis. I want to check what the actor who plays Cal Kestis is. Liam Gallagher on Shameless. I can't remember the kid's real name, but I want to see what his schedule
Cameron
is.
Monaghan.
That's him, Cameron Monaghan. I want to see what his schedule is on IMDb and see if he's free like this year, what he was up to. And if he
Did you watch Gotham? Yeah. Did you watch Gotham?
No, but I met the guy who played the Penguin. I feel very bad that I actually.
Yeah, so did I. I met him in Melbourne a few years ago. He was brilliant.
He was.
Robert Lord Taylor.
That's him.
Yeah.
got a photo with him. I've never seen the show. So he's in that as well.
Yeah, so Cameron Monaghan played a young Joker. And he was
Ah,
just absolutely fantastic. He was incredible.
I will have to see some of it now. Yeah, I wonder if it
Same for any Jedi. If Ahsoka won't train him, who will? Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. Now we know Boba has knee blasters. That was so cool to see. See him using all these weapons that... Yeah, that was great.
He was very confident in his abilities with the suit that he hadn't seen for like 5 years. He's put it all back on. Yep, all still go. Cobb Van hasn't ruined everything for me. Fresh saw on the back and all.
Like it doesn't fit like it used to, but it works.
And then they go, "Oh, great shot!" When he shot the ship, so I was shooting for the other one. That's very Australian. That is.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that.
The client says. Clayton says, "Yeah, I don't think they will split up. Perhaps a Jedi will respond to the call and pick up on Grogu being in danger and try to help him. I think it will be a Jedi we have never seen." I'd like that. I'd like to see someone new, someone that's been in hiding for a long time. Maybe someone like a Ram Koda from The Force Unleashed. I know they sort of put a lot of that character into Kanan Jarrus, being the sort of blind Jedi, sort of, hold out on the Order 66 thing. But
well, Jess, I got to leave.
No worries, man.
I've got to get ready for work. Night shift.
Not a problem.
So
yeah,
fun. So
no worries.
Thanks for having me on.
No worries. Cheers for hanging out.
Yeah, it was a great episode. So look forward to the last two. Can't wait.
Bring it on.
It's going to be mind blowing. Mind blowing like the Razor Crest. So. No worries. Thanks, guys. And
all right. Cheers, man.
Later on. Bye.
See ya.
And then number two, are you that way? No, you're that way.
Yeah, I'm the other way. Yeah. Oh, wait. Can't work it out.
Oh, I had something. I was thinking about something just before he left. Before he said goodbye, I was just about to say something. I've forgotten what it was now. Oh, yes. Aura Singh. We're getting a rumor of an action figure. Now, she's not a Jedi. She's a baddie. She's a Sith, isn't she? Because I'm always thinking if there's someone turning up in, say, the Mandalorian, they'll make an action figure of it. It's like always in the works of some. Very rarely, but then again, we've got Snaggletooth on the way too.
And at this point in the timeline, Aura Singh's dead.
Oh, that's
because Beckett killed her. Or Beckett said he didn't kill her; it was the fall that killed her. He just pushed her. So maybe Grogu will let his connection to the Force lapse, meaning he can go live in peace, trying to be positive. Yeah, well, I'm sure there are a lot of Jedi that did that themselves as the Order was sort of ripped apart, and Jedi that are out there, and after Order 66, knowing that there is no Jedi Order anymore, they probably just cut off their connection to the Force and try and live as peaceful life as they possibly can while there's people still hunting them. So that could work.
And just use their Force powers when they need to, like Broom Boy and Finn.
Yeah.
Just occasionally.
So when you need to do some cleaning. Yeah, I think he would turn down his training, but was semi-powerful on the Force. Didn't Mando say to Grogu, "You do want to learn this Force stuff, right?" And he didn't really reply, so maybe he doesn't want to even do it. Possibly. Ahsoka sort of... Yes. Ahsoka didn't really push for him to be trained. Like, sort of said he was quite young, and, he's been, as a very young child, he's... kind of been left out in the dark when the Jedi Order. He was hidden for a long time. He's been through some stuff, and he probably knows as well as anyone what potential is out there if he takes on that path. Maybe he won't get trained, but they've mentioned Ahsoka, Boba, and Bo-Katan for future projects. Team up.
Three of them.
It's cool seeing Legends stuff like the Dark Troopers become canon to Star Wars once more. I think it's very important for them to pick stuff out of Legends. Their Legends has a massive fandom still to this day that would love to see it continue. And I think it's, like I said, it's really important that they pull as much stuff as that out of that as they can and canonize it. Not necessarily story beat wise, but characters and story elements and stuff like that. I think, to try and just, give a little bit back to those EU fans that have sort of felt really cut off when they decided to restart the canon.
Not think about the books, and they pushed them all aside. And
there were a lot of fans out there that were and still to this day pretty damn cut up about that, and I sympathise with them. I understand why Disney.
You read the books. Yeah, you read the books, so it's important to you.
Yeah, I understand why they did it, because they didn't want to paint themselves into a corner with everything that already existed. But it's important to bring some of that stuff back in, so you can try and hopefully win back some of those EU fans that have been loyal Star Wars fans for a long time.
True. So about the Dark Troopers too, because they are cyborgs and there's no people in them, that's an easy thing for Hasbro to get a license to, because you don't have to use somebody's likeness and get their approval and then get it confirmed and approved. It's just like an alien. They're sort of like just a creation of someone. So it's only so that they can be done quickly. We could have one of them within 6 to 8 months. Literally smash one out.
Or remember last year with The Mandalorian, that we haven't seen it yet this year, but with the first season, as soon as that episode 3 aired with all the Mandalorians helping Mando break out of Navarro with the child, I reckon within a week or two we had that heavy infantry Mando figure in hand.
D2.
And we haven't had that this season.
No. All we got is
I say the Remnant Stormtrooper is going to be pretty close. And I did see a question earlier in the chat. Someone was asking where they can pre-order the Remnant Stormtrooper here in Australia, but EB Games had it. Yeah,
and
EB Games. Yeah, so I imagine they sold their allotment already.
I think that was removed. It was put up too early, because even like Dorkside Toys and Entertainment Earth, they had it up as well and they pulled it down. It was like globally cancelled. Something was up about it. Something weird.
Yeah, right.
Put up too early, and Hasbro just told them all to rip it back down again. Everyone got it up, and it's it's available, and then got put back down, and now it's starting to get in people's hands. It's like, it was just accidentally put up like 2 weeks early or something.
That's interesting, because I've still got I pre-ordered 2 of them, and last week the order said they were processed.
Oh, there you go. But they weren't available. If you looked on the website, there's nothing there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's because I thought about it myself. I thought, I wonder if they're still up. But yeah, they weren't. I was just sort of been scrolling through the comments, and I've lost where I am, but I found it again. This is the Filoni verse, much like the MCU. They'll bring the characters into the show and give them a show of their own.
Yes.
If anything happens to Din, I'd love for Ahsoka to care for Grogu. She could easily keep them both safe. I agree with that. I don't want to see him go to Luke, because we know where Luke's story goes, and it's not good for Grogu if that happens. I still want to see more Luke in between, but I don't think Grogu and Luke can live together, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Unless Luke
is all right, but not a big epic long story about it. Yeah, just a chance meeting would be fine for us.
Yeah, unless Luke just drops him off at Dagobah and says, "Look, there's this sweet little house here for you. I know a guy just like you lived here. There's lots of animals and bugs and crap for you to eat. Just hang out here for 800 years. You'll be fine.
You won't hit your head on the roof either."
Chief Chirper, a bit late tonight, but wow, Boba is back, baby. Yes, he is. And he's better than we've ever seen him before. He was better than Django. Or maybe Ezra will show up eventually and get the band back together. See, all right, so I'm going to throw out my theory that I had last week involving Ahsoka. She's going to get her own spin-off series. There was the talk this week that Dave Filoni said that the epilogue for Rebels, when we see Ahsoka showing up, she's got the white coat and the staff with the ring on it, and she gets Sabine to go off and look for Ezra. He has alluded to the fact that that might actually come after her appearance in The Mandalorian. So now that she has sort of an idea of where to find Thrawn, I think she can really start piecing together her mission to go find Ezra. As that was part of Ahsoka's promise that she would come and find him. So I think Ahsoka, if she's to get her own spin-off, it's going to be about finding Ezra, and Thrawn will be the main villain of that series. You know, still dealing with his own sort of Imperial Remnant faction sort of thing. I think there's just a lot of different Imperial Remnant factions sort of spotted around the galaxy. I think Thrawn's is a big one, and Gideon's is another. Perhaps Gideon's still answering to someone higher. We're not sure. We'll see. I also think we will see. No, I'm not sure who No is.
No.
Bo-Katan. Yeah, it has to be Bo-Katan. Help Mando get Grogu back as she's tracking. Yeah, she's tracking the other Darksaber. Okay,
B and N are next to each other.
Yeah. Damn keyboards! They did have letters here and here and here and here. They'll probably cross paths on Gideon's ship.
What do you think he meant by when he?
And he corrected himself too, and I didn't read that.
When you see Gideon hold this, have you seen one of these before? Like when he's holding that saber right up to him, is he mean a dark saber or just a lightsaber in general?
I think he's saying lightsaber in general.
Not. Have you seen the dark saber before? I was sort of like, oh, maybe that's what you're referring to. I don't know. Guess we'll find out later on.
That Beskar staff's going to come in handy against the Darksaber. Yes, it definitely will. Sorry, it's early here in the States. You are absolutely forgiven.
Yeah, it is. Very early. You can watch the Today Show soon. Starts at 6 a.m.
Grogu on Dagobah. This is the way. I think it is. All right. Oh, well, we've gone just over an hour. Do you have any other thoughts you want to get off your chest, Mike, before we wrap up?
Only where does it go from here? He can't travel anywhere except he's got the Slave One. So it's like everything's going to happen on Tatooine. Or can I borrow your ship, mate? I've got to go somewhere. Well, it looks like they're teaming up better. They're going to team up together and they're going to go somewhere to find this child.
I think I'm with what Mark was saying earlier, and we're getting the Magnificent Seven
all together.
So we go Mando.
Yes.
Mando, Boba, Fennec, Cara Dune.
Grief.
I don't know if Grief would be fighting again. I'm going to say Cobb Vanth will come back. Bo-Katan and Ahsoka.
What about the other two? What about Sasha Banks and Axe Woes? What's Sasha's name?
Yeah. They said...
Costa.
Apparently she said that was her only appearance.
Oh. I guess you got to go back and wrestle.
She was cool. She wasn't in it much, but she was cool. Axe Woes was cool. They were both great. But yeah, this is another cracking episode, and yeah, I really just needed to come and chat and get some of this stuff off my chest, because it was a lot for my brain to process tonight.
Wouldn't you think they'd save all this, your Magnificent Seven, for the very last episode, so we see everyone together? So maybe there's like
will
two
next week's
factions
be like
trying to find each other.
Yeah, maybe.
They'll have the meeting. He'll go somewhere. Come with me. Go there. Come with me. Go there. And then at the end, they sort of get together. And then the last episode is all together. Let's all do stuff together.
Yeah,
possibly.
See you all in the morning. You know what?
Yes.
I'm going to leave my computer set up, Mark. And if I am up early enough, I'm going to come in here and I will shoot you a message and see if I can jump on with you.
Pally Boys from 7 a.m. Training standard time.
Yeah, but if I don't get up early enough, I'm sorry.
He starts at 6:30 for Jesse. 6:30 a.m. for you.
I'm usually up a little bit after that, but I'll see what time I get up in the
I'd
morning.
roll about at 8. I should get up earlier than 8. I should. The Bill Burr guy.
Dude, I can't
Oh,
wait
yeah,
to get
he's
new
good.
Boba Fett action figure based on his look in this episode. Me either. I like the look a lot. Give it
Removable
about.
helmet.
I'll give it 24 hours, and someone will have a custom of him up, and they'll be all over Instagram.
Wade's
Because
custom will
Cobb
have
Vet-
a digital one. You'll have who's that other guy who makes him the 12 parsecs? He does some good custom work.
Yeah, he does. We'll see. Yeah,
Maybe-
just stay
maybe a
tuned.
few
It'll
out
be
there.
there tomorrow.
Remember
We
the
asked
Bill
for
Burr
Bill
guy?
Burr too. The
Yeah.
Bill Burr guy.
The Bill Burr guy.
Miggs. Well, they say his name was.
Yeah, M-I-G-S, Miggs
Yeah.
Mayfield.
Mayfield,
Miggs
that's
May-
right.
Miggs Mayfield.
Miggs,
I
Jerry
couldn't- I
Seinfeld.
couldn't say the other.
What's the
Thanks.
deal with all these Mandalorians? Where do you go get the baby? I don't want to get the baby.
It's been finished for 20 years and you can still quote it.
It's still one of the greatest things in TV history. All right, folks. Thanks for tagging along, hanging out in the chat.
This is the way.
It's been, indeed it is. This is the way. 2 more episodes to go. I'm not even going to begin to speculate. I'm quite happy with tonight going into this completely clueless about what was happening. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the same next week and look forward to having a chat with everyone throughout the week and yeah, discussing what we saw in this episode and all the screenshots that are going to come out and all the people that are already posting spoilers to this minute. So
Yeah. For those who don't watch the show, and you'll see a picture of this big hole in the ground that's been decimated and nothing, and they'll be like, "What's going on here? I don't understand."
it's a plot hole. If
It's the plot hole, all right.
if you haven't seen how the hole was made, it's a plot hole. Oh, just one last thing. Chief Chirpy says I want a refund on the Razor Crest now. I think
it'll be fine.
I think we chatted and we established that he will find a replacement very, very soon.
Very
And then-
true.
Yeah. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Until next week, may the force be with you.
Bye.